Palace 0, Manchester United 2, joined by Pat here. Pat, overall, I thought there were positives out of the game. The players played well. I think there was an effort there, which many Palace fans were asking for, and we haven't seen much of as of past. But overall, I thought the refereeing decisions were a bit shocking, and that contributed to the result. What do you think of the game?
The effort was there for sure. Like you said, that was definitely lacking in the last few matches, aside from maybe the Chelsea match. And I'm sure we're going to get into more detail with the refereeing, but just appalling and just shocking on that end. You can't really do much about that, but we created a lot of chances. We looked to be on the front foot and attack a little bit, and unfortunately, by us or by maybe some third party, our chances didn't get taken like they should have.
Yeah, well, let's get straight into it before let's get home and done with. All right, so Wilfried Zaha, the first penalty incident. What did you think of it? I thought it was a penalty, and the reason why I thought that is because you have to consider two things. Wilfried Zaha is going at full pace, and two, he's getting kicked from behind. So we've seen it in the past. We've seen it not only with Palace, we've seen Raheem Sterling, them type of players. These players are so fast and they're so quick that when you touch them, even a little bit of contact, they fall down. But this wasn't even a little bit. You can see from the replays that there was clear contact there. I don't know what you thought of it, but I thought that was a penalty, and I was a bit confused how VAR didn't give that, but gave them a goal, which we'll talk. But disallowed our goal, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, I thought it was a penalty as well. Exactly like you said, and even when you look at the replay, like Wilf wasn't even looking to absorb contact on that. He was clearly looking beyond the defender, trying to make a play on goal. There was never really like a look in his eye, like he was trying to draw in contact and maybe embellish it a little bit. He just got hit and fell. And even if, maybe we're biased, we are Palace supporters, so maybe we're a little bit biased. Even if it's not a penalty, it's very much certainly warranting to be looked at on VAR. And for them to even say that there wasn't even a chance for it to be looked at on the video replay was just kind of like there seems to be some kind of agenda against us or for United or something.
Yeah, we saw it. Well, we saw it last game against Villa. They have to stay up, and then you disallow Saka's goal, which wasn't a handball, which shouldn't look like a handball. I haven't seen anything like that. And then this game, Manchester United, a team that's chasing the top four. Oh, surprise! Once again, VAR helps them. Yeah, so I thought overall, and first half, I thought we played well. But of course, we conceded that goal right before halftime. What did you make of it? I thought we could have stopped Rashford. I mean, it was a great goal, don't get me wrong, but there were chances to stop him. And Luka, of course, missed the interception. And Patrick Van Aanholt, he went out injured. Hopefully, he recovers fast. It didn't look nice. He seemed like he couldn't stop him. But overall, I thought it was a good finish by Rashford. But maybe we could have done a bit better from them even getting into that position in the first place.
Yeah, it's almost like Fergie's back over there on the sidelines. They got that Fergie time, stoppage time goal, like just typical classic United stuff, I suppose. But yeah, especially like the very end of the first half, maybe the last like 10, 15 minutes or so, they started to get like a lot more space. It seemed like in our third, like really in the box, like we weren't really stepping out to them and defending. We were letting them kind of dance around and try and create some openings with the dribble. And against a team like that have some great players that are technical on the ball, we can't really give them that much space that close to goal, and we got burned for it.
Do you think the reason for that was because we started the game off fast? I'll be honest with you, we were pressuring them. Do you think that kind of got to us because we're not that team to go out to teams and go and pressure them as much? So do you think that contributed maybe for spaces to be open towards the end of the first half?
I think it definitely could. Like you said, we're not used to it. We have an older squad, so fatigue could set in a little quicker. And plus, there's that mental kind of lapse that you can have where if you're not used to pressing for as long as we were, not used to kind of playing on the ball as much as we are, to look at that stoppage time kind of dripping down and saying, all right, just a couple more minutes here, just a couple more minutes here. And then all of a sudden you just have these like negative thoughts as in don't allow a goal, and instead of trying to like defend the way you're supposed to. And you could have had a little bit of lapse in judgment there.
Yeah, so we don't get Wilfried Zaha penalty, but we go and score. We score a goal. And then, of course, VAR rules it out. I don't know what you made of it, but it sounds like we, over the last two episodes, it sounds like we kept on going against VAR, but this wasn't clear and obvious. I don't see where it's clear and obvious that he's offside when you're looking at his toes. And you can see the red line is basically next to the blue line or purple line, whatever colour it was. I don't get it. How is that clear and obvious? How do you disallow that goal?
No, I mean, we should have been up 2-1 at a certain point. And We had, a goal scoring opportunity and a penalty, and then a ball that was in the back of the net disallowed. And with those lines they draw, I swear they're just arbitrary. They just put them wherever they want to put them. It seems to fit their agenda.
Yeah.
In American sports, we have video replay, and it's not perfect by any means. A lot of it slows the game down. There's a lot of negatives to it. But the one thing that is good with it, especially in American football, is if you can't make a cohesive decision watching the replay, whatever the call on the field. Yeah, in American sports, if it's not clear and obvious, whatever the call on the field was stands. So in this case, it's not clear and obvious that it's an offsides. The call on the field should stand. It should be a goal, and I don't think many United fans are going to be too upset about that if that goal remains a goal.
Yeah, and their second goal I thought was just brilliant passing from them. There's only so much you can do to stop it. I thought it just a better goal. I wouldn't blame the defense for that. Of course, Patrick Banana went out injured. Hopefully he recovers soon. He did look like a nasty one. Tyrick Mitchell came on. What did you make of this 10 minutes that we saw of him? I thought as a whole he looked confident. Of course, it's only 10 minutes, but he looked confident, and it seemed like if Patrick Banana's injury is as serious, we could see him against Wolves in the next game.
Yeah, I think with a short period of time like that, it's always hard to see if someone's a star, but it's usually obvious to see if someone's kind of like fish out of water and kind of have that deer in headlights look. And he certainly didn't have that. He certainly looked like he belonged on the pitch. And who knows? I mean, hopefully PVA is good. You never want to wish any long-term injury on somebody, but there might not have been an Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who had a great game against us, unfortunately, by the way, I have to begrudgingly say. But there might not have been an Aaron Wan-Bissaka if it didn't call for Joel Ward to have a little injury. So maybe this is kind of his chance to force his hand and put his name in the starting 11 and see if he can do something with it.
Yeah, so looking ahead to the next game against Wolves, you sound quite not, I wouldn't say happy, but you sound positive coming out of this game. I guess you're looking forward to it. Would you make any changes? And are you hopeful that we might actually score a goal and talk about a goal?
Yeah, I think we will. I kind of think we will. I mean, if you look at the past two seasons since Wolves have been up, we've always played them tight. Earlier this year, they stole one from us in the dying embers. We beat them there with Ayu's goal, I think, last January. So yeah. They've always been a good squad, but we always seem to have a good plan against them. And I think see how PVA is. But if Mitchell gets a full start, I'd like to see how he goes. Riedewald still kind of being non-existent. Meyer still being non-existent. I'm still going to kind of campaign for those guys. I'm still going to campaign for Pierre to get in. But hopefully we can make a little run of things. But if we keep attacking the way we're attacking, I think eventually the law of averages is going to bounce our way and we're going to get a couple calls to go our side.
Hopefully we talk about goals before the end of the last two games. It's like every time we come on it, we talk about refereeing decisions or goals against us. But before I let you go, can I please have your man of the match? I'll have to ask you this game because we ended on a positive, so there must be someone that you thought stood out.
Yeah, I think I'll give it to Wilf this time. I know it's kind of an obvious one, but he should have won a penalty in the first half. Should have had possibly an assist. They're going to give that an assist. I don't know if they would have or not because it was maybe a shot, but he at the very least created another goal there as well. So if he doesn't have those two refereeing decisions go his way, he's definitely in the stat books. And just helped to create. He looked attacking. He took on Wan-Bissaka a lot. As good of a defender as he is, he seemed to get him kind of backpedaling a few times. And I think he kind of had that same passion that we've been missing him the last little bit. So maybe he's healthy again. Who knows? But he would be my man.
Yeah, him starting up front, I thought he had a brilliant game there. He was more attacking focused rather than defensive, where when he starts out wide, he does have to track back. So I thought that helped this game. But thank you for joining me, Pat. And as always, leave down your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And until next time, up to Palace.